Good morning to everyone. Okay, today we are going to explain about nucleus and other types of cell organelles present in the cell. First of all, I want to explain about nucleus. Nucleus. It is the control room of the cell. It is the control room. That means it can control all the specific functions of the cell. That means it having genetic material present in the cell. Okay. For example, this is a cell. This is a cell. Inside the cell, nucleus. Inside the cell, nucleus is present. Here, I want to draw magnifying structure of nucleus. Nucleus having two membranes. Nucleus having two membranes. That means two envelopes. Membrane or envelope are equal, same. It is outer envelope. It is outer. This is inner. Inner envelope. Inner envelope. Okay, inside the inner envelope, there is a fluid is present. There is a fluid is present. This fluid is called as nucleoplasm. Is called as nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm. Okay, inside the nucleoplasm, the genetic material present. The genetic material is present. Likewise. Okay, this genetic material is named as chromatin. Is named as chromatin. Is named as chromatin. Along this genetic material, that is chromatin, there is a small ball-like structure. There is a small ball-like structure or dot-like structure present inside the nucleus. This is nucleus. This is nucleus. This ball-like structure is called as nucleolus. This ball-like structure is called as nucleolus. Nucleolus. Okay. This chromatin having two, that is DNA and protein. Chromatin having DNA and protein. DNA and protein. Okay, what are the proteins present in the chromatin material? What are the proteins present in the chromatin material are different types. Usually those proteins are called as histone proteins. Usually those proteins are called as histone proteins. These histone proteins are categorized into H1, H2A, H2B, okay, H3 and H4. These are the 5 types of histone proteins present in the genetic material of the cell. Okay, along with these histone proteins, DNA is coiled, okay, like a ladder shape. That means DNA having double helical structure. DNA having double helical structure, ladder like appearance. Okay, this is nothing but DNA. DNA having two strands. This is one strand, this is second strand. Between two strands, hydrogen bonds. These bonds are hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bonds are present. Hydrogen bonds forms between nitrogen bases. Nothing but here one nitrogen base is present, here one nitrogen base is present. Between two nitrogen bases or one pair of nitrogen base, hydrogen bond will form. Hydrogen bond will form. How many types of nitrogen bases are there? There are 4 types. Okay, in case of DNA, I am explaining about DNA. So, in case of DNA, 4 types, that is adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine. But But in case of RNA, adenine is common, guanine is common. But at the place of thymine in RNA, uracil is present, cytosine is common. In place of thymine, uracil is replaced. Okay? Thymine is replaced by uracil in case of RNA. But RNA having only single stranded, but DNA having double strands. Okay, this is about nitrogen bases. Nitrogen bases present at the corner of the strands. In between nitrogen bases, hydrogen bonds will form. These are nothing but DNA structure. These are histone proteins. Okay. Now, what are the systematic arrangement of DNA and histone proteins inside the nucleus? Is nothing but this is DNA. Okay. This is two strands of DNA represented here, but it appears like a single strand because it is a fine structure. Okay, these are the histone proteins. Okay, here in one-dimensional view only 4 proteins will appear to all, but actually there are 2 pairs of proteins, each having 2. That means overall 8 proteins are present. So this is called as histone octamer. Okay. Now this DNA comes and wrapped around the histone proteins like this and went to next octamer, and here also it turns into 2 turns and move on like that. This DNA, two rounds of DNA around a octamer, this structure is called as nucleosome. Nucleosome. Okay, very important. It will come in your intermediate. Okay. This is called as nucleosome. That means chromatin usually appears like a loose thread-like structure, but in detail, in microscopic level, inside the chromatin, DNA and proteins are arranged like this manner. Okay, this is about chromatin. Okay, these histone proteins are H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. These are 2, these are 2, these are 2, these are 2. But here I mentioned 5 types. Octamer nothing but 8 proteins. That means H2A2, H2B2, H32, H42. This involved in the arrangement of octamer. But H1 protein helps in linking of one octamer to the other octamer. In between 2 octamers, H1 protein is present. Okay, the DNA present between 2 octamers, it is called as linker DNA. Linker DNA. Okay, linker DNA having H1 protein inside the octamer, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4 proteins are present, each having 2. Okay, this is nothing but chromatin. Chromatin having 2 types. One is euchromatin, and other one is heterochromatin, Okay, these are euchromatin nothing but lightly packed DNA. Lightly packed DNA is called as euchromatin. In case of heterochromatin, DNA packed tightly. Packed nothing but the package of DNA around the octamer is called as packing. Okay, if the packing is tight, the type of chromatin is heterochromatin. If the packing is loose, the type of chromatin is called as euchromatin. This is nothing but chromatin, structure and internal structure of chromatin and types of chromatin. Okay, now nucleolus. What is the function of nucleolus? Nucleolus involves in the synthesis of ribosomes. What is the function of nucleolus? Synthesis. That means manufacturing of ribosome. Ribosome is also a cell organelle. This cell organelle manufactured from the nucleolus. Okay, say one question, answer my question. What is the control room of this cell? Answer is nucleus. The control room of the cell is the nucleus. The control room of the nucleus is the nucleolus. The control room of the nucleus is the nucleolus. Okay? The function of nucleolus is the synthesis of ribosomes. These ribosomes involved in the protein synthesis process. Okay, it will come later. Don't worry. Now, okay, this is outer layer and inner layer. These layers having some pores. These pores are called as nuclear pores. Okay, why these pores need for the nucleus? Because inside the nucleus RNA will synthesize. This is DNA. From the DNA, RNA will synthesize. Okay, the synthesized RNA will come through these pores and enters into the cytoplasm of the cell. Okay, in the cytoplasm of the cell, those RNA involved in the protein synthesis. That's why nucleus having nuclear pores. Okay. Now I want to explain about two phenomena. One is transcription. Second one is translation. Okay, transcription nothing but the synthesis of RNA. From DNA, it is called as transcription. Okay, the synthesis of double-stranded DNA will form single-stranded RNA. This is DNA. This is RNA. This phenomenon is called as transcription. What is meant by translation? The synthesis of protein. This is a protein. Okay, this is a protein. The synthesis of protein from which? RNA. From RNA, it is called as translation. This phenomenon takes place inside the nucleus, but this translation process takes place outside the nucleus. That's why through these pores only RNA can exit from the nucleus and enters the cytoplasm surrounded the nucleus. In that cytoplasm only translation process will occur. Okay, here I mentioned AA. What is meant by AA? AA nothing but amino acids. AA nothing but amino acid. Amino acid is the simplest form of protein. That means a single protein is made up of with huge number of amino acids. A protein made up of with huge number of amino acids. That means to make a wall, to construct a wall, we will place so many number of bricks. That means like that, so many number of bricks, and we will construct a wall. This wall nothing but a protein. This wall made up of with so many number of bricks. Those type of bricks here are amino acids. Okay, this phenomenon takes place in which region? Outer side of the nucleus. Okay, to do this phenomenon, RNA must come out from the nucleus. That's why this nuclear pores allows the RNA from the nucleus into outer region. Okay. Next thing, this is about transcription, DNA to RNA, translation, RNA to protein. RNA to protein. Transcription takes place inside the nucleus, but translation takes place outside the nucleus. Okay. Now then this is about nucleus. Okay. Nucleus is first, the term nucleus was coined by Robert Brown. The term nucleus was coined by Robert Brown. Okay. Robert Brown. Okay. This is nucleus. The cell was discovered by which scientist? Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke. Okay, don't confuse. This is also Robert, this is also Robert. But Robert Hooke, he discovered cell. Robert Brown, he named nucleus. Okay, he named nucleus. Before the Robert Brown, so many scientists are there. They can recognize the nucleus as so many dots present inside a cell. Okay. But before the Robert Brown, another two scientists, those are Schwann and Sheldon, named nucleus as cytoblast. These two scientists are the proponents. These two scientists are the proponents of cell theory. Okay, what is meant by cell theory? What are the principles of cell theory will come later. Okay, at the end of the lesson I will explain that. Okay, here you want to remember that cytoblast name was given by Schwann and Sheldon. They are the proponents of this cell theory. Okay, later Robert Brown coined the term nucleus. Okay, he named the nucleus. But don't confuse Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke, he is a scientist, he recognized the cell. But Robert Hooke recognized a cell, but he recognized a dead cell. First time he recognized a cell, but he recognized dead cell. That is cork cell. That is plant cork cell. Okay, this is in dead condition. Okay, dead cell, it is always dead. Cork cell is always dead in the plant body. He discovered the dead cell. But the first living cell was discovered by Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Okay, he is a scientist. First discovered a living cell, that is bacterial cell. Okay, first discovered cell. Who was discovered first cell? Answer, Robert Hooke. Okay, who discovered the first living cell? Answer, Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Okay, this is nothing but nucleus. Next thing, endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. This inner layer of the nuclear membrane, inner layer of nucleus is continued with a number of channels. Continued with a number of channels. Okay, are tube-like systems are called as endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, This is nothing but endoplasmic reticulum. Here also so many surrounded by endoplasmic reticulum, but the starting point of endoplasmic reticulum is from inner layer of the nucleus, okay. This endoplasmic reticulum is two types, one is rough endoplasmic reticulum, second one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. What are the differences between rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Rough nothing but this type of reticulum having ribosomes on its surface, these are the ribosomes on its surface. That's why it becomes rough nature. Okay, these are the ribosomes. That's why this due to presence of ribosomes, this type of endoplasmic reticulum is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, it is rough endoplasmic reticulum is followed smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Why it is called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Because our ribosomes are absent. That's why it is called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, what is the need to having ribosomes on its surface of endoplasmic reticulum? Because in this area only protein synthesis will occur. I explained that translation is a process from which RNA will synthesize proteins. Through which regions? These ribosomes. Okay, I already explained that. What is the function of nucleus? Synthesis of ribosomes. These ribosomes synthesized from the nucleus and transported into the channels of the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Inside the rough endoplasmic reticulum, these ribosomes involved in the synthesis of proteins. Okay, these proteins are synthesized. After that, these are transported to another structure, that is Golgi complex. It is followed after endoplasmic reticulum. This is Golgi complex or Golgi body. Why it is called as Golgi complex or Golgi body? Because due to its discoverer name, that is Camillo Golgi. He is a scientist. He discovered the Golgi complex. That's why he named it as Golgi complex. Okay, this is about endoplasmic reticulum. The function of rough endoplasmic reticulum is to synthesize proteins with the help of ribosomes and RNA. Okay, what is the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Here is lipid synthesis and breakdown also. That means metabolism of the lipids will occur inside the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now, these synthesized proteins will come and enters into the Golgi complex. Okay, now we are going to discuss about Golgi complex. Golgi complex. Okay, Camillo Golgi. He is a scientist. He named as Golgi complex. Okay. Now this Golgi complex having two parts, that is cisternae and vesicles. These are the vesicles. These are the cisternae. These are vesicles. These are vesicles. Okay, the importance of Golgi complex is to modify the proteins coming out from the endoplasmic reticulum. Proteins coming out from the endoplasmic reticulum. That means the proteins comes out through these channels, and from these channels a vesicle will take up that protein. A vesicle will take up that protein and it transport it into the Golgi complex like cisternae. Okay, inside the cisternae, the protein is modified. The protein is modified and packaged into new one. That means a protein here synthesized is not complete at all. Okay, after modification only a complete protein will synthesize here. So the complete protein synthesis will end at the region of Golgi complex. Okay, hereafter, after modification and packaging, these proteins are again okay, transfers into vesicles. These are the vesicles. That means vesicles are the transporting vehicles. Okay, Through these vehicles, proteins are transported from one region of cell to the other region of cells. Okay, through these vesicles only the proteins are transported from one cell to the other cell of the body. Okay, I mentioned here 2 points. Proteins are transported from one region of cell to the other region of same cell through these transport vehicles, vesicles. Okay, with the help of these vesicles only, the modified proteins, the complete proteins are transported through plasma membrane. This is a complete cell. Here plasma membrane is present. This plasma membrane is double layered. Okay, biphospholipid membrane. Okay, that means two lipid membranes are present. Inside the lipid membranes, protein channels also present. Okay, protein channels. Okay, phospholipid membrane. It is plasma membrane. Through these protein channels, these vesicles carry okay, proteins into outside region. Through these protein channels, these vesicles carry modified protein to outer region of the cell. From this region, the proteins are moving and carried to the other cell. Okay, where it need is more. This is the importance of Golgi complex and vesicles. Okay, thank you.